Macho, John Madden, Juanito, and Akumal, Mexico. I'm a storyteller. I'm an Irish storyteller, and I got the word yesterday that I'm dying, and I'm telling a lot of stories about my life. And I just told a story that involved my friend Gretchen in Chicago, who gave me some bracing but important feedback. And Gretchen and I had a very complicated relationship, and she had an extraordinarily complicated relationship with the love of my adult life, Jennifer. So it was an amazing connection, and I got Gretchen into diversity consulting. I was a professional diversity consultant who would fly around the country leading diversity workshops, and she worked with me on a couple of big projects. And we were coming back from Boston, and we had just gotten on the plane. And Gretchen is a deep Buddhist, deep Buddhist. She knows an awful lot about Buddhism, uh, and I studied a lot of Buddhism, and at one point in my life, I was a student of Thich Nhat Hanh for 4 years. Now, people who don't travel in those circles don't know Thich Nhat Hanh, but he actually was an enormous Tibetan Buddhist. Most people do know the word mindfulness. Well, the reason people in the West know the word mindfulness is because of Thich Nhat Hanh. He's the one who taught about that. And we got on the plane, and I pulled out a very dog-eared copy of Thich Nhat Hanh's book, The Miracle of Mindfulness. And it was pretty beat up. And Gretchen knew that I had studied with Thich Nhat Hanh and had gone to long workshops with him, with thousands of people. And she says, and she was very competitive. And she says, wow, that book's been around. Yeah, this book actually goes back to when I was hanging with Thich Nhat Hanh. And we'd have long conversations about meditation. Yeah, right, we did. Yeah, we'd have long conversations about meditation. And actually, there's a couple of passages in here where what he says in this book came directly out of one of our conversations, and her eyes got really big. And as I'm trying to find the passage, I couldn't keep it together anymore. I just cracked up, and she looked at me and said, "You're going to pay for this, Madden." Oh, it was so much fun to talk with her. So, Gretchen, I do love you, and we have stayed in touch. We had a couple of great visits when I was in Chicago 3 years ago, and have kind of fallen out of touch. But maybe these two stories about Gretchen, I think I'll try to get into her. And it's a little manipulative because I would like her to know, and more manipulative because I would like Jennifer to know. And I've been hanging a lot in Playa del Carmen. And Playa del Carmen is very meaningful to Jennifer and me because the summer we met, we were together 4 years and came within a month of getting married at one point. We were big time. But when she met me, I was living on the beach in Chicago, Loyola Beach. And she had just come back from Playa del Carmen back in the early 90s. Playa is so different now. Oh my God, it's so different. And I've been in Playa a lot. And the very first video I made in Playa was dedicated to her, the big sirens. There's a gorgeous huge statue of the sirens in front of the ferry going over to Cozumel. And I made a video for her, and it was the last video I loaded. I think I actually did load that to my old YouTube channel before I lost my phone. I lost my phone the next day. And the whole time I've been here, many months now, 6-7 months, since September 10 was when I hit Playa, I've been wanting to reach out to her. And our last conversation, when I was in Chicago 3 years ago, she never chose to get together, but we had 2 amazing phone conversations. Amazing. And when I realized she was getting restless and getting ready to get off the phone, because we had a really turbulent relationship, challenging relationship, and a rough breakup. But we had been back in touch. And when one visit in Chicago, we had such a beautiful hug on my hand, but it obviously got uncomfortable to her because she looks at me in this restaurant and says, "So do we need to get a room?" Like, this is too much for me. And so when I was in Chicago, she chose not to see me, but we had 2 great conversations. And the last one, I was out of Chicago already and driving away. When I realized she was going to get off the phone, I gave her a great affirmation because I'm all about affirmation. I said, "Jennifer, I just want you to know you are one of the world's all-time great women." And I meant it. And I think she heard it. We just weren't good for each other. It was one of those things where we thought it meant we were supposed to be big romantic partners and monogamous. And I tried damn hard and really was. I can't tell the story here, but one point when I realized I had a wandering eye, I hadn't fooled around, but I was thinking about it, and I went, "You're going to lose that relationship." And I straightened right up, and I didn't flirt. I did not flirt with anybody for a year, which was like I was, and I was so behind it. I was so behind it that I never even missed it. Although I would miss it because I love the flirt, love the flirt. So it's a little manipulative to hope that she'll get this to Jennifer, but I hope she does. Okay, bye.